Sheriff, thanks so much for talking to us again.
My pleasure. Number 3, right?
I think so, yeah. Let me ask you about Donald Trump, because that's the big difference between the last time we talked and now. Donald Trump, when he announced for the presidency, he said last June,
when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Do you agree with Donald Trump?
I agree with him on one aspect, that we do have rapists and murderers coming across the border, but not everybody.
And not the majority.
No, I don't think
the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals, are not rapists.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics. But on the other hand, I can tell you about our statistics in the jail.
Yeah, but the vast majority, Sheriff, that's the whole point. I mean, all the studies that I've seen say that crime rate among immigrants is lower than those born here in the United States. So overall, immigrants are not criminals.
I'm not going to talk about that poll. I'm not. I don't know what poll you're talking about. I'm not going to agree with that one. I will say I think Mr. Trump was frustrated at the many crimes committed in this country from those from Mexico, including coming across the border illegally. That happens to be a criminal offense. So why don't you throw all those in your survey about violating the law? But when you mention rapists and murderers, okay, I don't think the majority of people from Mexico are rapists.
Of course not, and they're not. Donald Trump wants to deport 11 million people. Do you agree with that? You said, I agree with the concept. If you're here illegally, you should be deported. Do you really want to deport 11 million?
It's very simple. Not knocking doors down and dragging people out. But when you come across someone on a violation of the state law, local law, and they happen to be here illegally, yes, then you deport them. Very simple.
But millions? Are you in favor of mass deportations? Is that?
Well, if you say millions, then you're trying to tell me that the majority of the people here illegally.
11 million. There are about 11 million people here.
Or hey, you say, no, they get stopped for state violations, okay? And you say that you cannot deport them? Of course you can, but they're stopped for another law. So why can't we deport them if they are here illegally?
So let me be clear. So you are in support of mass deportations, deporting millions of undocumented immigrants from this country? Can you imagine not only the cost? ICE says it costs about $12,000 each one, but the massive human rights violations that would create?
It's happening now. People are arrested and ICE deports them. People are arrested for other crimes.
But not mass deportations. It would be the largest mass deportation in recent history.
Well, if the illegals don't get caught or do anything wrong, they're not going to be deported. They got a pass. You're not going to go into their house for no reason other than you think they're here illegally. I'm not for that. I said when you come across them on a violation of the law, you should deport them. Very simple.
The Justice Department said that you have intentionally and systematically discriminated against Latinos. Your office has been stopping Latinos in their vehicles 4 to 9 times more than non-Latino drivers. Isn't that discrimination?
No,
Isn't that racial profiling?
Hold on, that's their opinion. We had 287G working under the federal government, had the authority to do that.
It's not an opinion, it's a fact.
I don't know
4
what you're
to 9 times more than non-Latino drivers.
Well, that's their opinion. I don't know where they get that.
They did the research.
No. Okay, did so much research. Why did we sign an agreement last week? Nothing happened. It's all been dropped. Okay?
It's not dropped. You reach an agreement with them. But the fact remains that
it's been
if
dropped.
you're a Latino in Maricopa County...
Excuse me, the judge dropped that lawsuit. Okay? This has been going on 100 days after Obama took office in Holder. They started this investigation.
But this is clearly racial profiling, Sheriff. If you stop Latinos 4 to 9 times more than non-Latinos, that's racial profiling. That's discrimination.
No, it isn't. Depends where you're at. It depends. If
I'm a Latino and I'm driving and they stop me simply because of my accent or because of the way I look, it's racial profiling. And that's what you've been doing.
No.
Of course, that's what you've been doing for years, since 2006.
No. If you're patrolling in a Mexican area, I would presume the majority would be Mexican, right? That makes sense?
Yeah, but overall...
Well, those are statistics. I'm not familiar with it. I'm telling you that has been settled with an agreement.
You can just read the document, and it's there. Another issue. Employees here in this place in Tent City. They refer to Mexicans, according to the Justice Department, as wetbacks, Mexican bitches, stupid Mexicans. Isn't that clearly anti-Mexican, anti-discrimination?
We took
anti-immigrant.
If you talk about 3 or 4 instances, which I believe it was.
3 or 4?
No. We took action on that, disciplinary action. That's not right to do that, okay? But let me put it another way. I'm not saying what the ethnic background is of our officers, but we do have, you're going to be shocked at this, and I can prove it, 35% of our staff is minorities. 30% are Hispanic.
But it's not all right to call them like that, stupid wetbacks?
If you have 3 or 4 that have done that, 3 or 4,
no, but
that's not done every day.
No,
it's not throughout our organization. You're picking 3 or 4 instances.
No, I am not here. The Justice Department says that there is a culture of disregard for Latinos and for the Constitution. So it's not only a few cases, a culture of disregard that is an abuse of power involving you, Sheriff Arpaio, and that you are ignoring sound police practices.
I've been around 55 years, most of it as a top law enforcement official, including Mexico, and I can go on and on, okay?
But I
know how to run an organization.
But they say that you are personally responsible for that culture of disregard to Latinos.
Well, I'll tell you, if I'm prejudiced, I won't be hiring 30% Hispanics, that's for sure. Okay? Number 2, in this jail, if you talk to some of our officers, they're not even U.S. citizens. They're not U.S. citizens.
What the Justice Department is saying, what the Justice Department says
You're picking
is that
out a couple paragraphs.
No, not only that. It is that you are mistreating Latinos, that you're detaining Latinos simply because of the way they look, because of the way they talk, and that once they get here, they're being mistreated again.
I'm not going to get into that because of a pending case right now, okay? I am talking, you mentioned the Justice Department. I am saying an agreement has been signed and it's gone away. So I think if we were that bad, agreements would not have been signed.
Let's put immigrants aside. Let's talk about women here. Many women are surrounding us right now. The Justice Department insists that you allowed crimes to be committed here against women. The complaint is that you failed to adequately respond to reports of sexual abuse, including, and I'm quoting paragraph 85, that you failed to adequately respond to reports of sexual violence, including allegations of rape, sexual assault, and sexual abuse of girls, therefore exposing women and girls to physical and psychological harm. Paragraph 85.
Well, that's 80. How old is that, by the way?
It's 3 years old. 3 years old.
Well, once again, agreements were made, not even addressing this. So I don't know where you're coming up with that. But didn't even address this. We have a great internal security unit in our organization. We don't take anything for granted. When we get an allegation, we pursue it. Every one that comes to our attention.
So
That's
you're
how I'm
saying
going to
there
answer
are no mistreatment of women in this facility?
If there is, it would be minor and we take action.
We were doing our homework. So one of the inmates in this facility sent you a message. Do you want to, can I show you?
My name is Noemi Romero. I am 23 years old. I was detained at Estrella Jail, one of Arpaio's jails. My question to him is, why do you treat animals better than humans?
I don't think that's correct.
She was
well,
here.
That's her opinion.
Yeah, of course it's her opinion.
Has she been there helping our animals? No. Every inmate here you talk to, come on. You just talked to one 10 minutes ago. They love treating the animals.
Yeah, but we're not talking really about how they treat the animals. It's the way you treat human beings. It's almost 100 degrees, and look at them around.
Well, first of all, the animals are innocent, okay? They've been abused. They can't defend themselves, and the people that abuse them are in jail. We're very active on that. They have a special unit. So they are not criminals, the animals. Now, you're saying that I treat the inmates different? Well, they happen to be criminals. So they don't get the food, the steak and everything that the dogs get, okay? Is there something wrong with that? The dogs have not committed any crime.
Let me see if I heard correctly.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Are you implying that dogs get better food than inmates here?
No, I didn't say that. I said they get the dog food, good dog food. They get good food. It happens to be vegetarian. The reason I mentioned steak, they don't get steak here. They're on vegetarian diet that I started a few months ago. What's wrong with that? They get their 3,000 calories. You want them? Should I give them steak, macaroni and cheese, or what?
Is it true that your attorney hired a private investigator to spy on the wife of the federal judge in charge of this case?
You know, I'm not going to get into that. You don't have all the facts, and I'm not
it's
going
just
to.
a question.
No, I'm not going to give it to you.
But it's just a question.
No, it's still in progress. We'll see.
But you're not denying it.
What's the question again?
Again, is it true your attorney hired a private investigator to spy on the wife of the federal judge, Morley Snow, presiding over the case?
I'm not going to talk about it. It's not over yet. It's not appropriate for me to talk about it. I'm not trying to be smart with you. I'm just using...
Well, you're simply not answering the question.
Okay, I'm not going to answer it. Why should I answer it when the case is in progress? I don't think it's professional to answer.
If this is true,
let the court let it go through the
you think that's
let it go
justice
through the
being
courts.
served?
We'll see.
Are you supporting Donald Trump?
I'm not going to. You know, one thing I don't talk about unless I do it. I don't go around saying it's not fair.
Does Trump want your support?
Never asked me for my endorsement.
All right.
Never asked.
Is it true that you want to become vice president?
Why would I have a demotion? Right now, I'm the top guy. You think I want to go be a second?
Let me just finish with this, Sheriff Arpaio. Why do you talk to us?
You?
I mean, yeah, because you've been getting all these questions, all this criticism.
Why not?
Other people don't like it. You know what happened with Donald Trump.
So what? Think I worry about it?
But I really want to understand why you are still open to talk to us.
Not just you. I talk to everybody.
I know that.
I'm an elected official, okay? I report to the people.
I'm just a reporter asking questions.
And I'm just a sheriff answering it.